Alright folks, so for this video what I'm going to be doing is 3D printing an attachment for my microphone stand here so that I can finally mount it onto my table. Don't you hate when you just lose things like that, right? And so I had this somewhere else, but I don't know what happened to the stand. I let somebody borrow it, they gave it back like this, and they don't know where their stand is. So the good thing about 3D printing, right, is I could just 3D model something, a base, to hold that and be able to put it on my desk here and fix that issue. So that is what I love about 3D printing. You have an issue, you could go model it, solve that issue. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. I'm going to be trying to design it, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I'm doing as I go along, and then we'll see the end results with that. Alright guys, so as you can see, I'm going to be using Fusion 360. It's free and it's awesome for 3D designing. The first things I'm going to do is, in order to make the base, I'm going to make this circle. It's going to be with a diameter of 12. I've already measured the openings and everything that I need for this project, so that's why you're going to see me, put these measurements out there. First thing I do now is extrude the outer wall up. I think I did 30 centimeters. Again, I already measured them. And then I'm going to extrude the inner one up about 5 centimeters, or millimeters, I should say, not centimeters. And now we have this circle, which will serve as our base. Okay, so as you can see here, that's where my microphone stand is going to slot into. All right, so if you can start to think about this as a base, what do we need? We need somewhere to put the circle on, and something that's going to latch into the table. So I'm just going to start making kind of like a rectangle here, and actually I want to make it on, I want it to be on top of everything and cover the whole base. So let me make a square that's going to do that. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this new square that I made, and I'm going to extrude it down. Let me turn on visibility so you guys can see. I'm going to extrude it down, and we want to start thinking about what is the thickness of our table, right? In this case, I think mine is like 12 millimeters, so I'm going to probably do like 3 times that, and that way that leaves me some space to work with here. So now I'm going to do an offset from the rectangle, and the reason why I'm doing an offset is because I want to cut out this part, right? It's going to be like a hinge when you think about it, and so it's going to have like this C shape, and the middle part there, that's what's going to grip onto the table. So I created this offset, selected the left wall there, and now you guys can see that it's divided in 2. And I can select that middle wall, and I can hit extrude or E on the keyboard, drag my mouse over, and there you go. I have now cut out that section. So you can see, right, that let me just make this a little more bigger. There we go, a little longer. You can see now that we have this base. Let me do a little chamfer there to make it a little bit better looking, and there we go. Right, so that's what's going to hold on to the table right here. That's why I did that entrance there in the middle where I cut it out, and now we're going to have something else go through the middle there. It's going to be a screw, so it's going to have to be a little longer. So what I did was I went back on the timeline there and extruded it out a little longer, and now I want to put a kind of like a screw, right? I want a hole there, and I'm going to be able to put a screw in there, and the tighter it goes, the more pressure it has. So I'm going to make a little circle here in the middle, extrude it down, and let's see, there we go. Yeah, and this is going to be like a screw for us. So therefore I'm going to put in some bridges, and I just realized that you guys can't see the control, so Sorry for that, but so I'm gonna put in some of these screws, kind of lines here, and I want it to go all the way up, right? Because I'm gonna be screwing into the base, and I want the base to also have the same pattern as the screw. That way I'm able to screw it in. So okay, now that we have the screw, let's hide it, and I'm gonna have to extrude that same hole again and cut it out. I hadn't cut it out, and now we want that same pattern that's in the screw inside, and so I'm going to make it the same size, hit OK, turn off model, and there we go. So now we got the screw and we got the same on the inside as well, so that it will screw in. And if you turn on a section view here, you can see that everything lines up nicely. All right, so let's turn that off, and now you can see how everything is starting to come right. Now we need something to like be able to grip the screw. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put like a hexagon around it. Select it from the create menu and put a little kind of hexagon, and make the circle a little bigger, and there we go. Right, so that's going to be a kind of new body. Now you can see that if I drag it down, it's going to add it to the top of the screw right there, and there we go. Let me just make it a little thicker so that it's easier to handle. Okay, you gotta make sure, you gotta remember that we're working with millimeters, so it's not that big. And there is our base. Pretty basic base, but hopefully this thing will work for us and allow us to fix our issues. All right, so let me import those now into the Bambu Lab. I'm gonna be using the Bambu Lab, and I'm gonna be doing it with ABS since I have some of that, and it's gonna be very resistant and it's gonna be very strong. That's why we use ABS. Alright guys, and I just sent that part off to print. Don't you just love how these things are like wirelessly? You can just make something on your computer and send it wirelessly, like, and then the microwave feeling that you get when you open this door to reveal the part in there. So as you all know, we're printing the attachment to this, and I chose the X1 Carbon because, of course, I should have probably printed it in PLA first in the Creality K1, but K1C, my bad. But I just wanna get to it. Like it is what it is. It does say it's gonna take about an hour and 40. Yeah, so it's gonna go through this thing. I'll set you guys up with a time lapse here, and then we'll see the results, and we'll see if it actually works, and if I'm able to finally record high quality audio for you guys. So let's see how that goes. And so just like that, we're ready with our new parts. There we go. One thing I would not suggest is printing NVS in an enclosed area. It's obviously it's not good. Not good. Chemicals. But we're gonna try it out, see if it works. Here's a screw, and we're gonna have to clean that up as well. So I'm gonna have to do that in a bit, and I'll show you guys how to do that, of course. put it like right there. Yep, that's what happens when you try to do it with the thing on. But there we go. And I just gotta tighten this. There we go, guys. Look at that. Look at that. And this is why, right? This is why I think we all go for 3D printing. This is why we love 3D printing. I had an issue. Like, I had lost that piece. And with 3D printing, well, I didn't have to go and buy a new arm. I just 3D printed. I made this today, 3D printed it today, and look at that. My new mic arm. Well, it's not new, but so this is so wobbly, but I'll get all of that fixed.